Good morning, gardening friends. I'm actually recording this on Saturday evening at 5:30, April 5th, but I won't put it out until tomorrow, the 6th, for my usual Sunday morning time. We're fixing to have some storms come again tonight, and the rains will carry on into Sunday morning. Typically, we don't get Sunday morning rains a lot, which is why I tend to do my videos on Sundays. But a lot has been happening here in the yard. So without further ado, let's get started. You can see a lot of new growth on this Sarracenia. I'd say this is probably about a foot tall already. All of my coleus have done well. Those were the rootings. I have 3 pots and I put 2 cuttings in each pot. The horsetail equisetum is really doing well. Hopefully it'll get a little stronger and be immune from the cats. And I can remove all these chopsticks that I use. Here you now can really see the fact that these cuttings I took on my papyrus have rooted. Yay! A free plant. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I have it. Another flower on my desert rose, and a whole bunch more to come. It's a really pretty color. Let's take a close-up. A nice red. Still have violets blooming. Last week I did go ahead and separate out these hens and chicks that I had. I had planted them like that last year, but they died out of all but 2 of the holes, but they multiplied on the 2, so I was able to take them apart and spread them out again. Of course, here you can see this papyrus is sprouting. I have my fountain turned on. I need to weed the vincas or put some mulch down. They're blooming, but so are the oxalis coming up around them. Impatiens here are starting to bloom. I love the scent of the heliotrope. Here I started some seeds last week, borage, and unfortunately the birds pecked out those 2 sets. I planted more seeds. It only took about 3 days for the seeds to sprout. For some reason they left that cell apart alone. As long as I get about 3, I'll be happy. They'll go in the herb garden because you can eat the young leaves and the flowers. They taste like cucumber. And here is, I don't know when I bought it now, I don't remember. I went to Aldi's and they have a deal on herbs. I got a pot of basil for about $4. And it had, honest to God, about 50 plants in it. So I have 4 here I started in pots, and I put 1 clump in the front yard, and I thinned out a whole lot more. So you definitely get your money's worth. Then when, uh-oh, we're having a fight here. One of Sarah's other cats has come back, or come in. I did go ahead and sprinkle some Johnny Jump Up seeds there at the base of the cardboard palm. They'll die back for the summer, so they'll do fine. I actually like the combination. I didn't think I would. This bright red next to that maroon color. But the pelargoniums, or geraniums as we call them, are doing fabulously well. The mandevilla has a bunch of blossoms. Another nice deep red color. And I still like my leucojum. I waited forever for that clump to establish. I thinned out the crepe myrtle, getting ready to shape it into some semblance of a tree again. Here you can see the cycad is starting to sprout. Uh-oh, they're fighting. That's Stubby from next door. This is a male cycad. I don't know if it's going to send up its stalk this year. That one hasn't been sexed yet. It hasn't sent up its cone. Depending on the shape of the cone, you'll know whether it's a male or a female. I don't think technically they're called the same thing, but I call them cones. Fatsia. It's got a whole bunch of new growth. I have to thin it out around David. I didn't do a lot of work back here this week because the big news was the garage. They did show up and they started work on the garage. A lot of rot was found. I'll show you shortly. Here's the top of my Canary Island date palm. You can see that it's got a green tuft of new growth. We didn't get to pruning it off this week. I want to get rid of the branches that are sticking up and the ones that are tangled up in the Japanese plums. I want to try and encourage this year the old growth, the old fronds to fall flat against the trunk, because that's really what they do in nature, and it's getting kind of tall to be messing around with cutting those errant branches off. So I want to kind of encourage the look for what's going to look like in the future. Those vincas are doing well in the pots against the wall. It's the same color that's next to the fountain. I like the pink. Oh, I just stepped in a hole. Some kind of animal has been digging. My Serenoan repons has got a spectacular inflorescence. It's not opened all the way yet, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stalks. I've never seen such a clump before. There's actually almost every stalk has one coming up. I see one in there. This one is doing a little loop-de-loop thing. I don't know what that's all about. But here's one of the flower stalks, what it looks like. I did have one form fruit last year. Oh my goodness. More over here. 1, 2, 3. It's got a whole bunch of fruiting stalks this week. There's Sarah's cat. I call him Stubby. He's insistent on getting petted. He'll headbutt you if you don't pet him. My pecan is doing well. Blueberries are coming. Got a lot of fruit. Can't wait. I can't wait. I have to get at the oxalis here. It's really grown over. It will die back in the heat of the summer. My cassia is doing well. I'm trying to get back here to show you the blossom on my bottle brush tree. It suffered a lot of damage in the winter this year. I wasn't certain. I don't remember it ever being that bad. Of course, there's a rosemary. I have to watch where I'm stepping here. Yeah, I don't remember the damage ever being that bad on the bottle brush tree, but so I didn't really know what to do. But apparently, it's greening up from the tips, so just it has some dead leaves that'll probably fall off. As is also the case for these jasmine. They're really leafing out nicely. And I'll probably go through and pick this dead out eventually. I have one last daffodil. It's the last of the season. My lavenders are doing well. That type of lavender does really well here in the south. I don't remember the name of it, but if you buy local, usually what they stock is the best thing to get. It's not a hid coat, I know that. Here this palm needs a little cleanup. It has suffered some winter damage, but obviously it's doing well because you can see the beautiful flowers that it's sending out. I have to get at some of the vines. That's an old trumpet vine that we've been killing for the last 30 years. It tends to want to come up on it was the neighbors behind there, but it wants to come up on my side of the fence because it's sunnier. Here is the big news of the week. The garage was done. At least all of the rot was replaced and the siding was ripped out. There was a lot of damage to the studs inside the walls, so they had to sister a lot of things in. It's still a work in progress. It's going to be painted this color, the center color, with white trim. And that side, which faces the neighbors, has all the siding was removed because there was so much rotted parts of it. And I'm going to be getting a metal roof. And I'm going to put the same metal roof on the back side of the garage, so it'll be a dark brown metal. It's called bronze. So I'm looking forward to getting the metal roof. It's going to be similar. It's going to be exactly like my neighbor Sarah's garage. Only I think my color, she called her color beige, but that's obviously not beige. It looks more like the bronze that I'm ordering. What I'm showing you here is my Ozark plum. It leafed out all the way to the tippy top and had, without exaggeration, at least hundreds of flowers. So I'm hoping to get at least a few plums this year. So this tree has done well. I will be eventually removing this piece of fence behind here. One thing I did find out this week is my entire fence is made up of cypress. I mean, I knew that. I didn't find that out this week. What I did find out was you can't get cypress boards to replace them with anymore, any of the rotted or damaged bits. And so what I'll be doing is taking these walls apart because I no longer need them and using them for parts. I already did that, I'll show you a little later, out of necessity, and replace some of the battens in the front on the other side of this fence by McGregor. That was the last piece of fencing that was replaced. And so it looks brand new again with the battens replaced. I had 5 that were broken by the construction that took place at the street a couple of years ago. So I replaced them, and I'm going to work on replacing some of the broken boards, especially there. What happens is that vine comes through the fence and it actually eats into the wood. And if you don't keep after it, it will chew the wood up. It's too cloudy right now to see the beautiful blue color on this spiderwort. Of course, it's late in the day, too. My azaleas are sprouting. The fertilizer took. I am hoping. I don't see sprouts on it yet. But this particular camellia was exposed more to the cold than the others. And I am hoping that it will live. It is entirely possible it may not. But it still has flowers. I don't see any new growth on it yet. I'll feel better when I see the new growth. Sarah always has squawky cats. He's friendly, but again, he's an assistant that he gets petted. Let's see, the what's that? The bougainvillea is doing fine. Oh, garage. They still have to replace my light there. There was a whole lot of damage It turned out the damage was old insect damage. It was carpenter ant, which of course is not covered by your termite bond. And who decides whether it's termite damage or carpenter ant damage? The termite bond company. That sounds like a little bit of a rigged deal to me. But let me go back in here. This is no longer going to be a junk space. I am reclaiming it. This will be removed. But they did such a good job of replacing the rot and making the siding look good. It's primed right now. Again, it's going to be a turquoise color. But there used to be a wall that extended from here to here. Oh, from here to here. I'm waving my finger around, but it's not on camera. But I don't need it anymore. The walls were put up years ago before the plants were in. And I needed it for privacy's sake. Well, I don't need it anymore because the plants have gotten bigger. And I like the openness of it. So it's going to be open. And like I said, I will be removing that other section of wall eventually. Just I can't take too much change at one time. So I'll do it little by little, but we'll take that apart for pieces to replace fence posts, fence parts. See, this azalea, this camellia is just full of new shoots. So all of them have sprouted, but for that one, so I will keep it in mind that it's going to live. Oh, while up there, look at the flowers, the inflorescences on that windmill palm. They are absolutely spectacular this year. All of my fertilizing is done, so I'm done for, at least for now. The palms get fertilized once a quarter. 40 pounds of fertilizer once a quarter. Everything's dry in here, but we're supposed to get storms tonight, so there's no need for me to water anything. Oh, I've got flower buds. I didn't see these yesterday. Actually, I didn't see them earlier today. Here, there, at the bottom. That's a fortnight lily, or African iris. It blooms on the same flower stalk every 20 days. That's how it got the name fortnight lily. I cleaned up some of this crepe myrtle. I didn't get rid of all of that yet at the top. I will. Yes, come on, Stubby, you can go out. Get out of the way. He hasn't figured out doors yet. My vine here is doing well, Virginia creeper, as is my yellow jasmine. This little cluster is coming together. The sprouts on the satsuma are doing well. This one is curved a little. It's either dry or it's facing the sun. Okay now, cat, don't get under my feet. Miss Mimi has been trained not to get under my feet. She's been stepped on once a long time ago and she never forgot. For some reason this topiary died. It had the same ivy as that. And you know, I get tired of things like that just miraculously up and dying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant some more jasmine. I have really good luck with jasmine and topiary forms. And so I'm not going to get rid of this one yet. I'll let it do its own thing. I hate having 3 items and one be different. Obelisks. But it looks so nice that I just don't have the heart to cut it out. However, this one does not look so nice, and I have no qualms with removing it. Okay, quit throwing yourself down in front of me. This pelargonium looks nice. Technically, they're a pelargonium, but we call them geraniums in the USA. really what is a geranium is a cranesbill. It's more of a ground cover. People grow it up north. We can't grow it down south. Here you can see the new sprouts on the central section of my Australian tree fern. So yay! It caught. It made it through the winter. This side, however, has not yet showed any activity. But the fact that it's coming up in the middle means that it more than, in my mind, means it's probably going to survive well. It's windy right now. This plant is doing really well. The English dogwood, also known as mock orange, Philadelphia, something or other. It is in full bloom. This particular one does not have a scent, but some of them do. And here, and there, and back in there are sprouts of it. So I'm going to eventually let them get a little bigger. That one, especially, I pruned down and it got nice and bushy. So I will be digging them up, and I'll probably put another clump over here and limb up this ligustrum a little. Sarah doesn't mind, and she likes the mock orange or English dogwoods better. They are a pretty tree, a bush, but this is it. This is the only time of the year when they look spectacular. They're going to be green all summer, and then they lose their leaves in the winter. So enjoy them while you can. These must be the flowers of the week, besides the palm in the backyard, Serenolum repans. All of these amaryllis are sprouting. All of these are from previous years. They're all red lion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blooms on this side. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 blooms on this side. Every year I get 2 or more amaryllis. I always get an even number. In the wintertime at Christmas in the front porch, you've seen it. I don't have to tell you that. But I wind up planting them outside. This one and that one were from this year. I put an even number. If I put 2 on this side, I'll put 2 on that side. But they always do better on that side for some reason. The bananas are doing well. In the potager, the big news here is, well, one thing, the Thai basil is not being attacked by whatever, the squirrels that were eating it. They don't like Thai basil. They do like my onions. I got all of my onions. They don't like lettuce. But the blackberries are sending out flowers like crazy. So I should have a good harvest this year. Here's a close-up. One spent flower and others to come. I do like the fact that the flowers have a pinkish hue. That's just by dumb luck. You can see it. They are, according to the name tag, Apache. Apache thornless blackberry. This basil hasn't been found by the squirrels. And this is another clump from the batch that I got from Aldi's. I just stuck it there. Again, more lavender I put here. I'm looking to see if I left a tag in there. I don't see it, to find what the name of that lavender is. I do need to remember to move some of these herbs around. They've spread, and since they're doing so well, I can divide them up and move them around. Leaves are all over the place because of the winds, as are trash that blows in from next door. I did look out this week. One of the things that blew in from somewhere was a dollar bill covered in mud. So it makes it worthwhile for me to pick up all the paper that comes this way. This lily is still doing well, fixing to bloom. I can't for the life of me remember the name of it, so I will put it on the in the notes of this video. This cassia is not showing signs of life, but since I have two in the backyard, I will not be disappointed if it dies. I see activity on the wandering iris, so that should be blooming shortly. The sable minor is doing fine. Of course, I fertilized all the palms. One thing that's not doing well is this fig. It's an Italian black fig, and in my opinion, I'm going to leave it yet for another couple weeks. It looks like it's live up to here. You can see some sprouts, but there's no growth on anything farther up. Earlier in the winter, before the last cold snap, it was sprouting at the tips. But I'm afraid that last cold snap may have killed it. We'll see, it may have just sent it back. But at least I know it's going to come back from the roots. That does not surprise me. Figs are not quite hardy, although we are technically a 9A now. I've never had luck with figs lasting the winter more than a couple of years at a time. However, they will sprout back very quickly because they have good roots, and they will still give you fruit. They just won't turn into a tall tree. They'll be more of a shrub. My frangipani is doing well, also known as plumeria. No new activity yet. Oh, my iris, Louisiana iris, has a bunch of flower buds. I was going to dig it up and move it around. You can see its growth habit, which is annoying. It grows in a circle. The clump was originally in the middle, and it grew out every which way. And now it's blooming in places where I don't want it to be, but I will let it bloom, enjoy the blooms, and then I will dig it up and move it back to where it should be. The Mexican petunias have come back. I don't think you can kill them. They are essentially a weed. Back in here, all is well. I missed this week because of the construction videoing this beautiful iris. It turns out it was a fluffy ruffle, so you can look it up. It's a blue bearded iris, blue and white. A lot of new growth. All of the camellias here have new growth all over them. So everything is doing well back here. The Nandinas, that one, you would hardly even know that I pruned it a couple of weeks ago. This one, not so much, but it is sprouting, you can see. I need to really get in here and clean this up. All that green is spent birdseed that the squirrels have knocked out of the feeder. And I need to get that out of there. That's where the turtle likes to go. He likes to, when he comes, Gato, that's that water bowl I have out in the backyard. He likes to dig through these piles of seeds because there are all kinds of bug activity in there. It's a virtual smorgasbord for him. But there you have it for today. Hopefully the storms will come and go tonight without causing any damage. I had a little hitch this week. The storm that hit, I guess there was a tornado and flooding in Louisville, Kentucky, which happens to be a hub for UPS. Anyone that got shipments from UPS down south pretty much has to go through Louisville, Kentucky. Well, the drug that I get infused with every couple weeks got stuck in the airport there. Normally I get infused on a Monday. Well, it's not happening this week because the drug needs refrigeration, and the fact that it got stuck in the airport means it's not going to get here until Monday, which time it will be hot and, or at least warm, and no longer safe to use. So they are sending another batch out, which won't arrive until Tuesday sometime. So hopefully I'll be infused either late Tuesday or Wednesday. I've been a day late before with no side effects. I've never been 2 days late before, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully all will be well. But compared to the damage, and I think one person died in the flooding, the loss of a package containing drugs is not all that much. But I worried about it this week. But there you have it for today. I hope you all get to get out in your yards this week and enjoy. And hopefully by next week I will have a beautifully painted garage, and we will be working on the roof. I'm getting a price quote for the roof yet. It hasn't started. So we'll see what happens. So until next week, take care. Bye-bye.